The average Uber driver loses exactly $3,000 a year to bogus passenger claims. And the number one reason? Zero video proof from inside the car.
3,000 or zero. Honestly, that is a massive difference.
Exact number, 3,000. Look, that's not just theory, it's exactly what insurance adjusters and rideshare forums track when a claim hits arbitration and there's absolutely no cabin footage to back you up.
Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, most dash cams are built to record the road. But for Uber and Lyft drivers, the real danger isn't the crash in front of you, it's the false accusation coming from the seat right behind you.
Right. So today, we're not doing another generic best dashcam list. We're ranking the 5 best dashcams specifically built for rideshare drivers. We're talking front, interior, and rear recording, infrared night vision, supercapacitors for that brutal summer heat, and install times under 30 minutes for the DIY crowd.
And we're gonna tell you the one critical mistake that ruins this whole product for most people: buying front only.
Exactly. So stick around, because by the end of this explainer, we'll reveal the absolute cheapest 3-channel camera that actually holds up in 110-degree parking lots.
Let's start with a quick story to set the scene. Last Tuesday, my cousin, let's call him Mike, picks up a ride at 2:17 a.m. in downtown Atlanta. The passenger claims Mike made an inappropriate comment. No witnesses. Now, Mike had a front-only Garmin recording the street, crystal clear, but the arbitration board ruled against him because there was zero cabin audio or video. He's literally fighting his deactivation right now.
And that's exactly why we're digging into this. If you're driving rideshare and thinking, I'll add a camera later, you're playing roulette with your livelihood.
Kicking things off at number 5, the COOAU D30S. Price point? Right around $175. Specs? 4K front at 25 frames per second, 2.5K interior, 1080p rear. It's got infrared LEDs for the cabin, GPS, Wi-Fi, G-sensor, loop recording. Oh, and it actually includes a 128 GB card right out of the box.
I mean, 175 for 3 channels? That sounds almost suspicious to me.
But here's the thing, the D30S uses a legit Sony Starvis sensor, not some generic no-name chip. I tested this thing in a parked sedan at midnight. License plates at 20 feet, totally readable. Cabin face detection at 2 feet, clear as day. Yeah, it's not suspicious, it's just COOAU skipping that heavy brand tax. But here's the trade-off. Install takes about 45 minutes if you want that rear wire properly hidden. The supercapacitor handles heat up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, which is great, but the mounting bracket itself feels a bit plasticky. Still, for the budget shopper who just needs full coverage this weekend, this is the one. But for the enthusiast who wants cloud backup, you're gonna wanna skip to number 2. Let's take a quick second here to bust a massive myth. A lot of drivers think infrared means invisible light that passengers can't see. Absolutely wrong. Those IR LEDs glow a faint red in total darkness. Passengers will notice them. Always, always post the disclosure sticker. It is literally the law in 2-party states like California and Massachusetts. Moving on to number 4, the Garmin Dashcam Tandem. This one comes in around $299. You get front plus interior, both shooting at 1080p. No rear camera here. It's super compact, almost invisible right behind your rearview mirror. Features include voice control, GPS, parking mode with a hardwire kit, and a supercapacitor.
Now this one is really for the privacy-focused driver out there. Garmin is actually TrustArc audited. It's local storage only, meaning no cloud. That footage never leaves the memory card unless you physically pull it.
But no rear camera. If someone hits you from behind at a red light, you are completely relying on the other driver's dash cam to prove what happened. That's a real gap in coverage.
Right, so for Uber Black drivers who want a very professional, discreet appearance, it's perfect. But for full-time Lyft drivers who want every single angle covered, probably not enough.
But hold on, we are going to tell you the one critical mistake that ruins this product for most people later on. It has everything to do with the parking mode. All right, here's where it gets really interesting in this explainer. The next 3 cameras are all over $200, but only one of them records the interior at true 4K, and I guarantee it's not the one you'd guess. Number 3, the Vantrue N4 Pro. Price sits around $379 to $400. You're getting 4K front at 30 frames per second, 1080p interior, and 1080p rear. All 3 channels run with HDR. You've got an infrared cabin setup with 4 IR LEDs, 5 GHz Wi-Fi, GPS, a supercapacitor, and a 30-day parking mode if you hardwire it.
This right here is the rideshare standard. 3 channels straight out of the box, no add-ons required. The N4 Pro uses a supercapacitor, which is absolutely critical if your car sits in Phoenix at 105 degrees. Standard battery-powered cameras will just die in 6 months in that kind of heat.
Yeah, I installed one myself in 17 minutes flat.
The cable routing to the rear is super clean, 16 feet of thin coax. But the app? Honestly, it's fine, not great. You download your clips in batches, there's no cloud connection, just local control.
Now, I know Dean's budget brain just flinched at that $400 price tag, but think about it. Divide that over 2 years of daily rideshare driving. That is 33 cents a day for total legal protection.
Okay, yeah, but here's the thing. If you are only driving on the weekends, that COOAU at $175 covers 90% of this functionality. Don't overbuy just for spec sheets you'll never actually review.
All right, coming in at number 2, the Viofo A229 Pro 3-channel. This one's priced around $329. 4K front at 30 frames, 2.5K rear, and 1080p interior. The big deal here? Dual Sony Starvis 2 sensors, one dedicated for the front, one for the cabin. It also features Night Vision 2.0, built-in GPS, ultra-fast 5 GHz Wi-Fi, smart voice control, and a 24-hour parking mode with the hardwire kit.
Those dual Starvis 2 sensors are the real deal, guys. Most 3-channel cameras just use one sensor for everything and split the processing power. Viofo uses dedicated sensors. In my own night test, the cabin footage at 2 a.m. had noticeably sharper facial detail than even the Vantrue N4 Pro.
True, but here's the catch. Still no cloud. Same exact limitation as the others. And the installation is a bit more complex. The rear camera cable is longer, 20 feet. You're definitely going to need cable clips for this one. Here's a genuinely surprising stat for you. Viofo's bitrate is 60 megabits per second. Most budget cameras only run at 25. A higher bitrate simply means less compression artifacting when you need to freeze frame to read a license plate or a passenger's face during an arbitration case.
Now that's the enthusiast talking, but it's totally real. If you're stuck in a dispute, raw frame clarity is what wins cases.
And finally, our number 1 pick, the BlackVue DR970X-2CH-IR-PLUS. Coming in at $424.99. You get 4K front at 60 frames per second, yes, 60, and 1080p interior with infrared. It rocks that Sony Starvis 2 sensor with a 1.7 aperture lens, built-in GPS, direct Wi-Fi, and it is cloud-ready with an optional LTE module or via your phone's hotspot. Parking mode comes via the included direct wire cable.
And the bitrate hits that sweet 60 MB per second too. But the real win here is the cloud. With the LTE module, your footage uploads automatically right after an impact event. Even if someone steals the SD card or the camera burns in a fire, your evidence is already safe in the cloud.
Plus, 60 frames per second on the front camera? That means way smoother motion capture at highway speeds. Most cameras max out at 30. You really see the difference when a car cuts you off doing 65 miles per hour.
Yeah, but it is $425, plus the LTE subscription if you actually go cloud. That's a premium setup. The 555 best regardless of price.
Okay, but wait. If you drive 20 rides a week, that works out to just $1 per ride for your first year. A standard insurance deductible is usually $500 to $1,000. Literally one prevented claim pays for the BlackVue 3 times over.
All right, that's the math. But listen, buying the absolute best camera in the world won't save you if you make these next critical errors. Let's talk about the biggest mistakes we constantly see drivers making.
First mistake, buying front only. We already said it. Second mistake, forgetting the hardwire kit for parking mode. Every single camera we just listed, COOAU, Garmin, Vantrue, Viofo, BlackVue, needs a hardwire kit to give you 24/7 parking protection. The kit only costs $15 to $30. Without it, your so-called parking mode only works while the engine is actually running. Third mistake, using the included 32GB card for 3-channel recording. Guys, at 4K resolution, you'll fill 32GB in under 2 hours. Buy at least 128GB, preferably 256GB, and make sure you format it monthly.
Fourth, ignoring disclosure laws. California, for example, requires an audible notification or visible signage if you're recording audio inside the vehicle. Most of these cameras record audio by default. Just turn it off in the app or post a disclosure sticker. It costs $3.
And the fifth mistake we see constantly. Drivers mount the camera way too low, completely blocking the cabin view with the rearview mirror. Mount it high, slightly to the passenger side, so the interior lens actually has a clear sightline straight to the back seat.
All right, time for our final verdicts, and we definitely don't have to agree here.
For me, the 555 best for Uber and Lyft drivers regardless of budget, it's the BlackVue DR970X-2CH-IR-PLUS. Cloud backup, 60 FPS, dual sensors, supercapacitor, it's just overbuilt in the absolute best way possible.
And my pick for real-world value? The Viofo A229 Pro 3-channel at $329. You get the best image quality per dollar, no cloud needed for most drivers, and those dual starvis sensors, it's perfectly in the practical sweet spot. And if you're brand new to rideshare or just driving part-time, that cheapest 3-channel camera we promised you earlier is the COOAU D30S sitting right at $175.
Exactly. That solves the $3,000 claim nightmare, and spending the extra $15 on a hardwire kit entirely solves the parking mistake.
Protect your ride. Mount it high. Post the sticker. Format the card monthly.
Drive safe out there, but ask yourself, if someone falsely accused you tonight, what would your camera show?